let's set up our first n8n workflow. Now in this workflow, a couple of things that we're going to be doing is we're going to be triggering a form, and also we're going to analyzing all the rest of the form, which is going to be a Python script, and then we're going to pass into another Python script to split all the businesses that shows up. Then we're going to be entering a while loop. This loop is going to be processing the business one after the other until it's able to exhaust all the businesses is able to pull from Google. Now, if you click on that, one of the first thing you're going to see is you're going to see a form that is going to show up. This is going to be the form, and it's going to tell you that this is a test version of your form. Now, in this case here, we would like to specify that this is going to be, let's say, restaurant. Restaurant where? New York. And you can also specify the state. Which state do you want it to be? It's going to be in New York. And you click on submit. Once you click on submit, guess what's going to happen? In the background, your n8n agent is going to start working. Now, when your n8n agent start working, you start seeing all the activities taking place. As you can see, what it's doing here is it obtains the form, it fetches the API, it sends the request here to split all the businesses. When it's able to split all the businesses, you can also see the number of items that is being processed. When it splits the businesses, it's able to obtain about 20 businesses. When you obtain the 20 businesses, it goes into a while loop. Basically, I'm going to take the very first business, I'm going to process it, I'm going to save it, I'm going to take the first business. I need to get the place where the business is located. I need to format the business. I need to wait for a few seconds. Then I need to save it in an Excel sheet. Here, we decide to call it Breda Spa. That's the name of the Excel sheet. That's the name of we decide to give it. Now here, where is it getting saved at? It's getting saved into this Excel sheet. n8n leads. Oh, it's not actually getting saved here. It's getting saved into a whole different business entirely. However, let's stop this workflow. Let's go through what is going on. Then I'm going to show you where business is getting saved. Now, let me click on this. You get to see a list of all the businesses. Now, as you can see, when I clicked on it, I could actually see this. Previously, this wasn't selected. That is why I couldn't see any record showing up here. So now that I've actually selected it, what you should see, you should be seeing all the leads getting saved into this location. I should save this, close it, save it. Once I resume the run, it's going to continue. Now, the next thing we need to understand here is understanding the workflow. Let's understand our workflow. Once you double click on this, you see this information here. So as you can see here, you can specify this is business scraper, business type. You can specify the type of the business. Is it going to be a salon, barbershop, or hairdresser? Or you can also specify the city, Newark City, New Jersey, if that's what you want. And then list of all these states that you want to pull this information from. And don't worry about this. I have the code here, which you can actually save and you can import. Also, the next thing is going to do here is this is a Python script, and what it does is it actually scrapes through the Google API and it obtains a list of all the businesses. If you are worried about Google token, don't worry. I have a way that you can actually safely pull the data from Google. Now, the next thing is after you obtain this information, as you can see on the right hand side, is able to obtain restaurant, which is a payload that was sent from the form. And as you can see, the city is New York, the state is New York. This is when it was submitted. Now on the right hand side, you can actually see the response it got from Google. And all these are pretty much interesting data that can actually be passed. Like the restaurant, there's a food, and you can also see the restaurant rating. You can see all the information. Now the next thing is you need to obtain all this information and then you need to split it. How can you do that? Let's minimize this. Let's have a good view. We need to pass all this data that was obtained from Google. If I expand this, you can see all this data expand from Google. Now it has been structured into a proper table. Here you can see the place ID, the name, and the address. If I just click on next, you can see the next business here. Now, What's the next thing? Let's set up a while loop. Now this is a loop that's going to take each business. As you can see, it took the first business, it's going to process it. Now this rate limiting is going to wait for 2 seconds. Why? Because you cannot pull way too much information from Google. You need to wait for a few seconds to pull the next information. Now the next one is we need to get the place more details about the business that we're looking at. Now that particular business is going to pull the information and is going to try and get the details of the business. For example, the location, the phone number of the business, and then also the name and the rating of the business. And this is type of business is a bar, a establishment is food, and also point of interest, restaurant. You could also have the Google Map URL as well, and also the user rating total. These are total number of users rating that the business has, and business also have a website, as you can see here. If you click on formatting the business, now that you have that information, it's better for you to structure it properly. The name, the category, the address, the phone number, the website, and then also the Google Map information here. And then also the rating, the number of views, latitude and longitude. Also wait for a few seconds, and guess what? You save the information into your Excel sheet. Here I decided to call it Brader Spa. That's just in case if I want to like categorize that. And then here you specify the credentials, your credential here. And then after that, the next thing is resources sheet within document. You specify that, and then also list of all your documents. If you click on this, you see list of all your documents here, and then the leads. The document you want to select here is n8n leads. If I click on it, you see the leads here. Now also you want to map each column manually, which means that each of these column should be automatically be matched. You don't want to do manual, you want to do map automatically. Now let's run our workflow, but before we run it, let me walk you through the loop business. Now this goes into a loop. You wait for a few minutes, it goes into the loop, as you can see. Now let's close it. We're also going to trigger our workflow again, and this is going to start all over again. And then you see red stuff, just ignore that on my side. Now, when the pop-ups comes up, the first thing you need to do is you can actually specify. Let's go back to this. Let's say restaurant, or let's call it a different business. Salon, New York. And the states, let's select New York. Click on submit. Your form gets submitted. As you can see, the agent is working. The AI automation is working the way it should. Then it's going to go into the loop. It's going to grab the first business. It's going to process it, send it to the Brader Spa document. As you can see, now here you can sit down and watch as the agent populates the list of all the businesses that is obtaining. Now this saves you time instead of you going to the internet trying to update this information. Guess what? You can sit down, relax, and also allow the agent to do its thing. Now, what is also interesting is you could also set it up in such a way that this process can be automated. By setting up something called scheduler, you can schedule the job to run at a specific time. For example, you want the job to run by 7 p.m. every single day. That could also be set up. That way, you are basically bypassing the need to trigger a form field, and the AI agent handles everything. Now, can we call this an AI agent? What we can call this is an process automation. Now, this process has been automated, and you can also see this business as this rating on the Google map. You can also see the business here. If I should click on this, I should be seeing Bon Salon. If you click on it, as you can see, this is Bon Salon. The rating is 4.9. Let's compare that with data we have, 4.9. Total number of view count that we have is 2354. Here you see 2354. You have the right information. And then also, you also get to have the address and the phone number if you want to call the business. To call the business, this is the phone number 212-286-5300. 5300, and also there's a business address as well. So you get to have a lot of information directly into your Google Sheet. Now, if you also want to, let's say you want to do it for a different city, you could also specify a different city. But for now, we are able to pull about 20 different businesses directly from where? From Google. Using what? Using our n8n lead generator. Now, this is your lead. You could decide to call the customer. You could decide to call the business. Now that you've been able to automate the leads generation directly into your inbox. Also, this is what I was talking about regarding the daily trigger. You could also have a daily trigger run. It runs trigger interval 24 hours. Hours between triggers is 24. You could decide to say, okay, I want you to run 4 hours between different between different triggers. You can also specify the minute that it runs, and then you can also add different rules. This is hours, this is different day, but for now let's stick to hours. Every 4 hours this is going to run. Now, understanding the flow, let's have a wider perspective about the flow. There's a form that got triggered, and then also you get to see that one item was sent to the script. The script was able to process it and was able to obtain a huge amount of data. Now, data is a lot, so these are split businesses, tend to split the business, and it sends it individually over to, it sends the business to this loop each business. Now, the loop each business receives all payload of all the business, then it starts processing one after the other. It sends it, it's obtained the business location, it formats it, it waits for a few seconds, save it to an Excel sheet. The next one, it obtain the next business, obtain the business location, process it, and save it to an Excel sheet. Now, this process goes on and on 20 times while you sit down and you just wait for it to get populated. Now, let's also add more details here as well. Now, assuming you would like to split this workflow into different flow, where this is for salon, right? Now, this is salon. You can also decide to create another business. Let's say this, another sheet, excuse me, for restaurant. And this is your lead document. Now, in this your lead document, your lead sheet, you like to process the data for the restaurant. You could decide, all you need to do is just come to your Excel sheet. This shows up, and then you specify restaurant, right? Now, once that is done, you can decide to close this. Once you close it, then you have that information there. Now, let me close this. I'm going to execute that. Because that was changed, you can see the icon, it changed from green to this. Why? Because it was recently modified. As you can see, it was recently modified. Now let's trigger our workflow. Okay, let me stop this. Let's trigger our workflow. And then we type restaurant. That's in New York. And then you click on submit. And then the process begins. Okay, let's do it again. Oh, I forgot to click on trigger. Now it has been triggered. Now it's waiting for the input, it's waiting for it to be executed, waiting for a trigger event from the trigger. Let me stop this. Let me save my changes that was made here to the restaurant. Now, let me trigger a new flow. trigger a new flow. Okay, New York, that's in Newark, New Jersey. Okay, a new event has been sent. And the event that was sent, that was done off screen. Now what's going to be happening is a restaurant has been sent for a restaurant in Newark, New Jersey. As you can see, the Yard Restaurant, Phonos of Spain, Adega Grill, Don Pepe Restaurant, and these are the location, these are phone number, these are website, there's a location, the rating, the review count, the longitude and latitude. The AI agent is putting it up here and it's saving it in Google Sheet. Now, you can also see the total history of the execution as well. If you click on this, you get to see all the history of the execution. And you can also stop the execution here. There was an error earlier, as you can see, that was yesterday. You can also go back and also check out the error as well. Now, in this case here, let's go back to our editor. Our script is still running. As you can see, the workflow stays. Now, while this is running, let me use the opportunity to also explain. There are a couple of things you can also do. You can also add a new workflow to this flow. You could also decide to put a comment. For example, we would like to put a comment here. Let's zoom in so that you see what's going on. This one says I'm done. I'm not done yet. Check the restaurant. Let's click on outside to check the restaurant. As you can see, double click to edit. If you double click on it, you can also edit it. Here is a note. You can take the note and you can attach it to any section of your choice. Now, another interesting thing that could also be done, so you can add it here. You can also duplicate the note by pressing Command D, or you can also click on or right click on it. You can click on duplicate. You can put a note anywhere. So if anybody is taking a look at this, they can also have some context. Guess what? You can also change the color. You can also change the color here. Now, this is how you create a lead agent, a lead automation via n8n.